Experience tells me that it's wiser to trust yourself and your own abilities. You can't trust what clients tell you. One day you're a hero, the next you're working for the enemy. Sorry, but it all looks like a setup to me. First they tell you to lay down your weapons, and then, once you're unarmed, they finish you off in some back alley.
Your powers are interesting from a theoretical point of view. You are an experiment started by Arilu Vorlesh, and terminating it before it is complete would be foolish, not to mention impolite.
Listen to the goddess, Warchief. And if you won't listen to her, then listen to me.
Crap.
You don't need these thrice cursed powers. You're the strongest of the strong, and the bravest of the brave, even without the gifts of a mad sorceress.
No.
I am waiting for your answer.
Made my decision.
I hope you will choose wisely.
Quite right. Make your choice, and make it the right one.
Where's Avo in all this? Your soul got stronger, making your whole existence a miracle. You got no powers that can ascend. Legend Gold Azada. Oh, we can't even give it up. Let's go. I wanted something. I need to start writing down what I'm thinking when I have to level this stuff up. We get another superpower. A feat. 2 weapon emergency. Freedom's Child. Destiny Beyond Birth. Nope. Shockwave. Oh, we already had this. Oh, Strength. Whenever we miss. Yeah, no. Dodge Mythic. Oh, that's cool. School, Feet, Flawless. Great Fort. We already rolled twice, so it doesn't make sense. Reflex. Is there something that we actually may want somewhere down the line? Let's just do thinking flawless attacks. Alright, we have favorable. We don't do magic, so that's out. Might, which hits with a charge, we don't charge, or confirms a crit, passive fort, DC plus 10 plus, so 18 plus, then nope. So next. Friendship, oh that's the teamwork feat thing. Endurance, fast healing. On 4th rank, this number is increased by plus 5 from the crit. Get 1d6 temp hit points per meter rank. Oh, I'm thinking that zippy magic. Oh, that's freaking cool, but either this or she shares respect all teamwork. Nope, we're doing the mainly because if she has 25% of hit points left, she gains DR 10. Marvelous endurance. Fast healing. When the fourth mythic rank of this number is increased +5 per mythic rank whenever an enemy confirms. All we have left is 8. We have. I'm not doing prayer. Let's do. Crushing despair. Nope. Deep slumber. Functions like sleep except it affects 10 HD of targets. Animal. Eloquence. This would be makes sense, but dominate animal. DC 21. Both the peace. Oh, it's prayer defense by many you can attack. Nope. Repentance, echolocation. I'm thinking echolocation. Oh, 5. What would make sense? First glory. Constructing coils, dominate feeble mind, hold monster. Don't we already have a hold monster? If we do hold monster, what's the DC? 20. So instead, bonus to attack. Everybody dominate person. Say, let's do a burst of glory. Oh, level 6. Discord greater. Enemy. Serenity. Region. Overwhelming presence. Cloak of Dreams. Cloak of Dreams. We have 2 of these. Discord. I'm thinking. Attack the nearest target each time. Primal regression. Able to cast spell. Oh, that's cool. Madness. Madness. Yeah, it's a very low DC. Anything? What? Okay, what do we actually have? You get Joys of Life. Power of Life itself. Companion's attack deals wholly for 1 round per 2 caster levels. Restores all companion spell slots up to 5th level? What? However, it doesn't affect Azada's mythic spell book. It shouldn't. That's freaking crazy. Protection of nature. This is her companion suffer a 50% miss chance. Immune to cold. Oh, that's cool. Steel, Song of Steel. Sonic. Rainbow Starfall. Lightning. So, rainfall. Each fall deals 1d6 per 3. Doing great potential damage. Oh, that's freaking cool. Take into consideration the target's immunities and enemy resistance. You may call a maximum of 15 stars. Winds of the Fall. 1d10 slashing per 2 caster levels to all creatures within the cone. Fine. That's freaking cool. And this, so now we have 19, 14, 9, and 4. Still better at range, but we're not range fighters. The choice is made. All you have to do is announce it to everyone. So perhaps I could have rejected this power, but how can I abandon my people and my dragon?
Your pride will destroy you, and perhaps all of Golarion with you. But I shall not intervene now, so as to avoid causing even more suffering to this world. Farewell.
Oh, whatever.
Lady Arilu's experiment goes on. Now, girl, if it is successful, I will immortalize it in my encyclopedia, and I will mention your name too.
Do you know it?
If that happens, then I suppose I'll finally have to try to remember it.
Oh, best compliment you can get. Ninny will pound us for a while.
It would have been so foolish for you to reject your powers. So many victories, so many achievements lie ahead for you. Well, go now. Capture Arilu, and prove which of you is making the best use of her invention. I'll be watching you.
Nanticula gives a playful wink. She then blows you a kiss and disappears. There's only one swarm, and there can be no other. Anyone who does not become a part of the swarm becomes its food. That getting the spell slot spat stuff is ridiculous. But I wonder what Arilu's trying to do. Cause she waited until this moment for sure. I don't think it's because she was scared. It's probably because we're probably at the climax of the story, honestly. She has something going on. I guess we have to head to Is. The note in Is there's something with Finian. There's something around Is with Finian's next storyline. I'm guessing we're gonna finally get to the end of everyone else's this act, and I'm pretty sure we're really close to the end. Finally. Actually, where's our people, our vendors? Now we'd like to know who all stayed and didn't follow Queen Galfrey. Two days. Oh, look at the... Is that our Azaz stuff? Gotta be. People slowly coming back, so that's good. Their vendors are kind of back up. Look at the butterflies. Pretty. I'm confused on what's going on right now. Did we not? Weren't we close up? Oh, it's been a minute. Anevia. Grumbling under her breath, Anevia picks a burr from her clothes, wipes colorful alchemical goo off her sleeve, empties acorns out of her pockets, and shakes something that looks suspiciously like confetti out of her hair. Just look at this. You left the city at the mercy of the Free Crusaders. And see what they've done? I don't know if they're manning the defenses or rehearsing a circus act. But I'm not really mad, of course. You all gave the demons such a thrashing, they probably haven't even come to yet. Iribeth would lose her mind if she could see what you've done to her beloved barracks. I'll need to be the first to see her and tell her everything. Ease her into it, you know. Prepare the ground, put things in perspective. Anevia smiles, either pleased at having banished the demons or imagining the reunion with her wife. It's good that you're not mad at me, Anevia. Wait, I mean, you see, that came out wrong. I didn't mean to say that I was the one who wrecked the barracks. Did everyone make it through all right? Dress is still standing, kinda. Although who knows how long for, with those crazies loose in the place. They're as happy causing all around mayhem as they're thrashing demons. I'm glad to see that life has been restored in the city. Me too, you can smell it in the air even. It feels like spring already. And Avo turns her head and takes a decisive sniff. What's the situation at the front? Unknown. Her Majesty mustered all the troops she could. Raised the sword of valor and advanced on the demons. There's been no word from her since she left. Perhaps she's boldly taking Is even now. Maybe her bones have already been picked clean by demons. We don't know, and I doubt anybody except you will be able to find out. But that's not all. Baphomet's minions keep taking swipes at us. The scumbags are holed up somewhere. The Ivory Labyrinth. Again, the Ivory Labyrinth, I bet. and they keep opening portals in different spots, dropping off a dozen units, and then closing the portal before we can get to them. We lost more scouts than I care to admit before we figured out how they were putting off that little trick. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe you could get one of those portals in... Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Maybe you could get to one of those portals in time. You could be ready for them somehow, so that when one opens, you get inside and crack some skulls. They might even be holding the poor herald in there. If he's alive, you can free him. How do you feel about seeing the goddess in the flesh? My ears are still ringing from those trumpets. After witnessing the sight, I don't think I could be surprised by anything ever again. An entire army of demons, enhanced by Nahedrian crystals, were being sent here. It is being led by a demon named Mudafasin. Do you know anything about it? Scouts reported that movements of large demon armies far to the southwest of Dresden. They were marching across a dried-out lake. There used to be a Sicorian holy place there, I heard. But where they went, nobody knows. They're not headed for us, that's for sure. At least not yet. As you just heard, I have to get Chirulu. Any idea where I could look for her? Not especially. She's been roaming the abyss all this time. But now the avenue's close to her. Naticulate and the other demon lords are slavering for a piece of her. I think she's someplace around here, in the wound. Some nasty little place like Is, or maybe she went as far as Threshold. Thank you for the report. Good luck, Commander. Let's do what nobody else has managed. Kick the demons back to the abyss through the hugest rift you can find. Only, you know what? No matter what happens out there, make sure you come back. My gut tells me that soon Dresden will be playing host to weird and wonderful folks from all over the world. Somebody's got to be here to meet them, and sorry, but I don't want to be that somebody. Anevia smiles. Well, and somebody's got to show the regular Crusaders, not the free Crusaders, what springtime's like in the world wound. In other words, make sure you come back. Anevia hesitates, then adds a little sheepishly, and grab Irabeth and drag her back here with you if you find her, alright? Or else Desna only knows what happened to her out there. Oh, come on, please don't kill Irabeth. Are you finished talking about boring stuff now? Let's go and talk to our friends on the island now. We need to see how they're doing and ask them if somebody showed up there. Somebody we last saw in the abyss, and... True. And anyway, it's been a long time since Aranka gave me candy. We've got to go, it's important.
Commander, we wanted to bend your ear about something. There's a highly delicate matter that we can't resolve on our own.
Okay.
We were just arguing about which one of us you'd choose if you had to. You know, hypothetically speaking, of course. Want to help us settle the debate?
Land is smiling, but there's a stubborn set in his jaw, and his eyes are guarded.
Drama on the crusade. Noble companions fighting over the commander.
Oh, wow.
I would be loath to distract you from weightier concerns, of course, but there are more than two partners in this dance, and we're beginning to step on one another's toes.
We are not even dating. Not Land, like... Do I really have to choose only one?
We're talking purely hypothetically here, of course. But I'd have to turn down your proposal. I guess you could say that on this issue, I'm a stickler for tradition.
Why not choose only one? It's a fine opportunity to demonstrate your impeccable taste. On a more serious note, I see no reason why a heart should have room for only one. It is a pity that the others are not as open-minded as I.
He throws his hand up in an exaggerated gesture. Without you, this crusade will be unbearably dull. If you leave me, I will surely die of boredom.
Leaving you never even crossed my mind. Our fun will most assuredly continue. All in the name of the crusade, of course. Not everyone is able to enjoy the best that life has to offer. Not everyone is as fortunate as you and I, Commander. I can only pity those unfortunates who have been left with nothing today.
Darren smirks and tension seems to drain from his posture. He paused and without addressing anyone in particular.
Well, what can you do? At least you were honest.
He grits his teeth, but he forces a smile for your benefit.
What can you do? At least you're honest.
Maybe I should have did the question I was prolonging from him, and this wouldn't have happened. Rego looks slightly more tense than usual. Incria, I have fairly important news. I will do my best to be brief. The Hell Knight orders have not reached well to the developers I mentioned in my latest report, specifically regarding the true source of your power. The very notion that we have been cooperating with a weapon forged by Rulu Vorlish and Articular have caused discontent. The artists have not issued an official edict, but many chapters and higher-ranking knights have been recalled from their assignments and barricaded themselves in one of our outposts, the one you know, in fact. I suggest you go there and resolve the issues between the artists and the Crusaders. This is a matter of importance. What kind of reaction am I to expect? Any up to, and including a formal declaration of war, which is why you must go to the outpost and resolve issues before it develops into an open conflict. How do you think that reporting this to the artists would be a good idea? Do you really think I would withhold this information from my superiors? Do not degrade me or yourself with such a ridiculous suggestion. Very well, we'll go there as soon as possible. Excellent. This is all I had to report, so I will return to my duties and you may attend to your other affairs. Incria. The succubus gazes at you despondently. She always speaks quietly, but now her voice is a barely audible whisper. In my dream, a fire destroyed almost everything. The only thing that survived was a table. I returned to my dream world so many times. The nightmare still lurks there, but I want to understand why this table is so important. Why did it survive the fire? I can't figure out what makes it special. It looks like a simple piece of furniture. It just stands there. What is it supposed to mean? What am I doing wrong? Where did the table come from? Where did it come from? Rochelle considers your question. She taps her lips thoughtfully. Oh, I remember now. There was a loaf of bread on that table. That was Anevia's dream, remember? She said she wanted to learn how to bake. The bread went up in flames along with all the other fragments of her dreams, but the table remained. Would you like to enter your dream again? I don't think that will help. We've already been there together and no, there must be something else. I must look into it from a different side. But how do you find the other side of a dream? It's the nightmares that are attacking you. Not openly. It still lurks in the shadows, knowing that my soul from within. It never leaves me alone, but it hasn't tried to fight me again. Perhaps Desna could help you? But she was the one who asked me to solve it. I don't think she's going to tell me the answer. I have to find it myself, but how? Oh. I don't want to talk to Anevia about it. The other side of a dream is called reality. Perhaps this table represents something that you are supposed to do in real life. You might be right. Arushale brightens considerably, but what exactly should I do? Find a table? Buy one? Perhaps I should learn the craft of a carpenter and make one myself. So many possibilities, and I don't even know where to begin. Her excitement gives way to dismay. If this table came from Anevia's dreams, perhaps you should talk to her. I've been living among mortals for a while now, but there's still so much I don't understand about your kind. How you live, what you dream about. You're right, we should talk to Anevia. It is part of her dream after all. That's a good idea, but Succubus shifts from foot to foot reluctantly. Could you please talk to her instead? I don't even know how to begin a conversation like this. It is so personal. Please ask her and I will stay nearby. Oh, you. Commander! The Inquisitor greets you with a bow. I am sincerely gladdened by your return, and I was delighted to hear your recent victories. It is a shame that my duty has kept me away from front line. I would like to take up a place in the ranks of your crusaders, and perhaps I will still have a chance to do so. But before that happens, we must address another issue. I suppose you've already guessed what has brought me here. We parted ways after the discovery we made at Count Arende's estate. You and I both know that the Count became a conduit for an unknown entity, which I call the Other. I retreated to Nerosian and then went beyond Mendel's borders, looking for mentions of such entities and ways to fight them. And now that my search has borne fruit, I am ready to tell you about it. Why did it take so long? Because we are dealing with a rare phenomenon, a true anomaly. The Mendelf Inquisition has amassed substantial experience in fighting demons, but here we are up against something completely different. I had to throw through our archives, searching for cases that seemed anyway very similar. I sent inquiries to friendly temples and reached out beyond our nation borders to experts on the unknown. It was dull and painstaking work, but it was necessary. So what have you learned about the Order? I must be honest, I still don't know what it is. However, I managed to find some evidence of similar incidents, individuals who, in a horrible moment in their life, became a gateway for an unknown entity. The most curious part is that all these cases appear almost sequential. They happen to various corners of Golarion, but no two incidents ever occur at the same time. This leads me to think that we are dealing with a single entity, one that has been secretly present in our world for a long time, merely changing its gateway on occasion. While I do not know what this entity is, I have managed to find something of great value. A Vrisian arcanist managed to pick up the trail of the Other and invented a ritual to weaken and bind it. She died under very suspicious circumstances. Her decapitated body was found in her laboratory. Her head was never found. But her note survived, including the description of the ritual. I have discussed it with several highly esteemed experts in magic, and I am inclined to consider this a reliable weapon. We can use the ritual to lure the entity out, bind it, and probably exterminate it. But to do that, I need your assistance, Commander. What do we need to do? We must carefully prepare the ritual, and then bring Count Arende to the designated location. The ritual will lure out the Other, weaken its connection with the Count, and bind its essence to our world like an anchor. The last part is especially important. All the evidence indicates that while the gateway is active, the Other can travel freely between the material plane and some unknown space that lies beyond. If we fail to bind the Other with the ritual, it will either escape or, in the worst case scenario, drag us into its realm. Hence, we must lure it out, and then, I suppose, defeat it. There is one more issue. Aside from the fact that we'll have to fight this incredibly powerful and horrifying creatures, the Other's suspicion must not be aroused until the very last moment, and that means that the Count must know nothing as well. The best course of action would be to take the Count to the designated location without telling him the reason for the journey. Then we must frighten him and make it appear that his life is in danger. The Other will believe that its gateway is in peril, and then I hope it will show up to protect it. The ritual circle will work as a trap, but it is crucial, and I stress this, that we convince the entity that we know nothing of its existence, that it is Darren who is in danger, not the entity itself. Otherwise, there is no knowing what may happen, and I don't want to give the adversary any chance to outmaneuver us. Are you sure that the Other is hostile towards us? In all this time, it never tried to attack me. I am certain that this entity is dark and truly evil. The evidence and my instincts as an Inquisitor are undeniable. Whenever the other manifests itself, strange and ominous things begin to happen. In particular, I am positive that it is responsible for all the magically decapitated corpses. The ones who were found at Haven's Edge after the tragedy and in Canabras after the Scarry's attack. In both places, some of the corpses belonged to civilians and others to demons, and in Canabras, some of the victims were cultists. I am convinced that the other is pursuing some interest of its own, and thus far it has ruthlessly exterminated any who learn of its existence. And now, you and I know that it exists. Draw your own conclusion. How dangerous is it? It is extremely dangerous, which is why I have come to you with this. All the evidence is collected on the other, in particular the list of its victims, which include powerful demons and strong mortal mages, make me certain that we are dealing with something extraordinary here. It is stronger and more dangerous than Baelor's and other generals of the Abyss. I also suspect that the oracle power the Count has developed come from the other. As a rule, only gods, imperial lords, and other extremely powerful beings are capable of granting such abilities. I know no one except for you who could challenge such an entity. So I am asking you to help for the safety of all who dwell on Golarion. However, I believe that we can shore up our strategic position if the other doesn't suspect we're preparing a trap until the very last moment. Even the most dangerous of creatures become more vulnerable when caught off guard. The main thing we must do is to take a methodical approach and stay alert. I think that is within our abilities. Why do you think the other will appear to protect Darren? The Count has been in danger many times before, and nothing special has ever happened. You have a special connection with your companions, Commander. You share part of your mythic powers with them. They journeyed through the abyss with you and survived to tell the tale. I believe the other understands this. They also must understand how dangerous it would be if you were to become not a benefactor but an enemy to its gateway. I am certain that it will react to a threat coming from you, as opposed to ordinary encounters with demons and cultists. If Darren is the gateway, can't we just slam this gateway shut and leave the other on the other side? We can. I'm not doing it by killing the Count. The Inquisitors answer simply. But firstly, I'm not sure that the other won't try to protect this gateway, and in that case, we will have to face it unprepared. And secondly, I'm opposed to the idea in principle. Sometimes Inquisitors must make hard decisions. I have made a great many in my lifetime. For instance, I can kill a person possessed by a demon if he or she is at imminent risk of taking many lives, and I have no time to perform an exorcism. But in this instance, the situation is not so critical. We have the way of fighting the other. I will not agree to commit cold-blooded murder, not even the murder of someone as disgraceful as Count Arende. I'll help. Thank you. Now let's go. Disgraceful. Thank you, but let's go over the entire operation once more. I am convinced that we must lure out the other somewhere far from Dresden and other populated places to avoid civilian casualties. I have chosen a suitable location within the world wound. I'm marking on your map. You must bring the Count there without alerting him what's about to happen. I assume that another foray into the world wound will hardly raise his suspicions. I will await you there with a ritual circle prepared. Before we make the crucial moment, you must make the Count and the other believe that the Count is in danger. I suppose the easiest way to do that would be to tell him that you made a deal with the Mendelv Inquisition, and the Count would have to go to face punishment for his crimes, real or imaginary. I'll find a way to intimidate him, but you must play along? We need to provoke the other to come out to provoke its gateway. That's when we finish it off once and for all. I don't know about that. This case will be my greatest triumph or my greatest failure, but I firmly believe that it must be done. Remember my words. The other must be convinced that we are threatening the Count and that we know nothing of his own existence. The slightest suspicions could prove fatal to us. Until we meet again, Commander, and may the gods be with us. What is that? They look cool. Litmus. A pale, ghostly image appears in front of you. You recognize Litmus the antiquarian, the scholar you helped some time ago. His translucent form flickers intermittently, and you have difficulty making out his words. Commander, it's Litmus. I won't be maintained. Spell for. Open the door. Treasure room. Please hurry. I'm on my way. Yeah. I'll be waiting. The vision of Latimus flickers and fades. And only because I don't know if more. I probably should have asked. It's fine. Commander, Anevio sounds worried. Our scouts report that a goblin tribe was spotted south of Dresden, beyond the river. Having goblins so close to the world rule is bad news. We should check it first. Why are you so worried about goblins? Well, their hordes kind of destroy everything they can get their hands on, but you know that already. What's worse is they worship Lamashtus and often all sorts of powerful demons as well. A demon with a private goblin army could be a serious threat to the crusade. I'll see to it. Thank you. I will mark their camp on your map. Oh my god. Oh. Melissa. Commander, you look up and see Melissa, the green hair. I was supposed to check that and I forgot. A green-eyed fisherwoman from the village of Chili Creek. Her hair is a mess, and her face and other clothes are covered in soot. It looks as though she traveled here in a hurry and met with a few dangers along the way. Please help. Please help. He's going crazy. He will kill them. What happened? Calm down. Do you remember Janog? The cleric who came to our village a year ago. The locals weren't very welcoming to him back then. After all, he was a stranger who was preaching about a strange new god. But little by little, he became one of us. He went fishing alongside us, and he told people stories about the crusade. He told us about meeting you and seeing the queen, and the songs he used to sing. They just made you want to stop and listen. Well, eventually, the fisherwoman looks down. We became very close. You're the sister. We wanted to plan a wedding. My brother didn't seem to mind at first, but after we got married, well, that's when he lost it. He became violent. He threatened to hurt us. I tried to talk to him, but Melissa shakes her head sadly. We even thought about leaving the village, but when my brother found out, he lost his mind completely. Marco is strong, and no one else in the village dares to challenge him. It was a miracle that I managed to escape. But my husband is still there. He didn't make it out of the village. I don't know what's happened to him. Help us, please. What caused this change? She looks away and replies softly. Merkel, he really honors the village traditions. We've been worshipping the river for many generations. He was not keen on having the cleric of a foreign god in his village, but he was willing to tolerate Janog's presence for a while. However, my relationship with Janog really disappointed Marco, especially when he discovered that I had begun to worship Aristil too. How did you get here? By some miracle, I guess. Everything is on fire out there, and all those monsters, but they never mind me. I managed to survive. I made it here in one piece, but I am in serious trouble, and I have no one to turn to for aid. Please help me. You're my only hope. Oh, wow. All right. Thank you. I'll head back to the village. I'll do my best to keep him from flying into a rage, but please hurry. I'm afraid he might do something terrible. Oh boy. You have to get it. Okay. This would be what? Let's put dominate here. We do have a hole, but this is a dominate. And then, oh boy. Song of Discord. I'm gonna take a minute to get this done, and when we come back, I will be finished with it.